Tax deed investing beyond the auction block. What to do after you win a tax deed at the tax deed auction. So you got excited, you heard about tax liens and deeds that you can buy property sometimes up to 90% below market value. Sometimes you can get properties as cheap as $50, which is very cool. So you take action and you go, you buy something. I'm going to give you 10 steps that you absolutely must take after you win a property at your first tax deed auction. So this stuff is important and it's often overlooked because if you miss some of these steps, it could hold up the ability for you to be able to sell that property after you buy it. So we're going to jump over here to the screen and we're going to strip it back. We're going to go a little bit old school here. I'm just going to show my notepad. Straight up notepad. We're going to reverse some technology, go backwards in time a little bit. Oh, it's Dustin Hahn here, and the channel is dedicated to helping beginners buy tax liens and deeds. You know, I got into this business 21 years ago, and this is a great business to build wealth, buy cheap property, create some residual income, and really catapult yourself into real estate. So let's go, let's dive in. So on my screen here, we have number one, record the deed immediately. So this is important. So take the deed to the recorder's office after you win the bid. So you'll have to ask the sheriff because this is what's going to establish your legal ownership. I've seen people make mistakes. They win at the auction, they give their money, they don't realize that they have to go and record the deed. Things don't get recorded. Things go up in limbo and months pass. So immediately find out in the county you're in, how do you go and record the deed, okay? Now, step number two, clear any redemption period if applicable. Verify if the state has a redemption period, okay? So this one is very important as well because places like Texas and Georgia are redeemable deeds, which means there's a redemption period. Texas has a 6-month redemption period. Georgia is 1 year. So you'll need to factor this into your decision. Texas is one of our favorite places to go invest. They have auctions every single month, and you can really get some smoke show deals. Like I was at one of the auctions here a couple months ago. This guy came up to me. He's like, "Hey, I'm Kelvin, and I bought $800K worth of property for just 120 grand using the info you guys have." And that's cool. That makes me excited. People walk up to us and tell us, you know, what they've been doing with this information. Now, if you are in a state, in most of the states, you don't have to wait a redemption period. Most tax deed states, you can buy it and then pretty much go and sell it and flip it the next day if you want to. So things like that are important to know. During the redemption period in places like Texas and Georgia, you can often rent the property out, but you just can't sell it. Meaning nobody would want to buy it because there's a chance it gets redeemed. Now in Texas, the penalty is 25% interest, and in Georgia, it's 20%. So that's important to keep in mind. Now, most of the time, you're going to end up owning the property. We've done like 50 or 60 of these deals in Texas, and we haven't been redeemed on them. So keep that in mind, that they will have to pay an interest rate, but most of the time, you will probably get the property, all right? From here, number three, you want to do a post-auction title search. So what you want to do is you want to do a post-title to catch any liens or encumbrances that might have been missed or that might have accidentally survived. So remember, the tax deed sale is going to wipe out most of the liens and encumbrances, but you want to do a post-sale title check to make sure that things are wiped out and everything is in good standing order. Once again, we work with Tax Title Services and they help us. So that is a very important thing to do after you win. So the next one, number four, is to initiate a quiet title action, okay? So basically, what we do once again is we work with Tax Title Services, but depending on the price of the property, you might want to do a quiet title because when you buy the property, sometimes it can be like a quitclaim deed, which means it's not a marketable title. And what a marketable title means is the fact that if somebody wants to buy it and put financing in place, they need what's called a guarantee deed, which basically the title company can title insurance on the property. However, if you buy something super cheap for like $100 or $1,000, you probably just quitclaim deed it to the next person for your profit is generally what they do. So for anybody watching, we give away a totally free mini course below in the description for this. So if you want to grab it, you can grab it. It's called the ABCs of Tax Lien and Deed Investing. We have the directory to all of the counties and things like that with all of the phone numbers to help get you started. And if you ever want to come join us at a live tax deed auction, there's a link to also book a call. So we'd love to help you if you want some help. All of those are below in the description as well. All right, so the next thing you need to do is obviously inspect the property. So now there's a couple things. Sometimes you won't be able to access the property if it's locked up. So at this point, you will go inside the property and just double check and make sure there's no safety concerns, or if you need to board it up or whatever you need to do, that's the next step. Sometimes we win the bid, there's a renter in the property, and we go right from the auction to the house and collect a rent check because we're now the new landlord. We take the deed with us and show to the existing tenant that their rent money has not been paying the rent. And that's happened to us several times as well. So the next thing you want to do is secure the property, like we mentioned. If you want to change the locks, put a lock box on it. Now, one thing that's not on here, bonus, is you want to put property insurance on that in case it burns down, right? We use Farmer Brown insurance, so that's a good one to use right after you win the bid, okay? All right, next is you want to address any code violations or nuances. So check with the city for any outstanding code violations, maybe mowing the grass, nuisance liens, and resolve them. For example, one time I bought a property at a deed auction, and there was like a bird's nest in there, and the birds were making noise, and there was a violation, and I had to get the bird's nest removed, and there was a couple fines associated with that. Next, pay off any surviving liens. So remember, county or city liens don't get generally wiped out. So just always look into the city liens and see what's going on with the property. We've seen things with like grass cutting liens as high as $50,000. So make sure there's no city liens, or if there's like an IRS lien, remember those fall off after I believe it's 90 or 120 days. So if the IRS wants it, they would redeem you in that situation. All right, next one would be begin rehab if that's something you want to do, okay? I don't recommend doing rehabs if you're first starting out because, man, they can go sideways. And if you don't have experience in rehabs, make some money, get your feet wet, and then tackle a rehab a little bit later. Because when you do a rehab, you're competing against properties that are, top of the market. You're competing against, families who have mint pristine homes. So don't, in my opinion, only if you have experience doing handyman or construction, then you can do it. But if you don't, maybe come to that a bit later. And then obviously your exit strategy. Are you going to long-term hold it? Are you going to rent it out? Are you going to lease option it? These are all things that you need to take into consideration. So these are 10 things to do when you win the deed at Tax Deed Investing. And hope you get started. The channel's here to help you get started with tax liens and deeds. And we really try to help. We give you this mini course. It's in the description below. We have the ABCs of Tax Lien and Deed Investing. This is a free book to get you started. Our site, Tax Lien School, has some of the most deepest knowledge vaults of information. Maps, auction dates, auction calendars. This will show you the phone numbers. And if you want to join us at a live auction or you want some hand-holding help, there's a link below to also book a call with us, and we can take you by the hand and help you get into it. So hope you like this stuff. Do us a favor, thumbs up, subscribe if you like this, and we'll see you here in the next video. Thanks for watching.